So, Music Mix Daily, we're here with Paul Bogart today. You have quite the story. I was reading up on you, and I've been a country fan as long as I can remember. I've interviewed Terry McBride. He was a great interview. Loved hearing some of the history behind his songs that he's written for Brooks and Dunn. And you, I love the story about the Garth Brooks phone call.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start there. Tell me about that, because you do rodeo too, right?
Yeah, so I team rope and I rope calves, and rodeo put me through college.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Northeast Oklahoma, where there was nothing better to do than rope calves, I guess. Anyway, my dad taught us kids to team rope when we were just little, and it kind of stuck with me. I still get to rope a good bit now. But anyway, so small town, rural Oklahoma, and when I wasn't rodeoing in college, I was trying to book shows with a little Western swing band, and just from North Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, and which wasn't a lot, but I was just learning, learning to play with a band and doing the thing, and so I recorded this little kind of a college project CD in my freshman year of college at a garage studio in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
And Garth Brooks, someone had given him a copy of that CD, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And he had a place out there about 12 miles from my folks. And everybody knew it. Everybody, small town, rural Oklahoma was like, Garth lives over there. So anyway, we were doing a hometown show. It's the first time to do a hometown concert in Oologah, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Population like 1,000. And we put flyers up all over, the surrounding areas and the little diners and such. And for more information on this flyer, call my parents' home phone number.
Nice.
Small town.
Awesome.
And again, this is 10 years ago or whatever. So we got a call, and I was home for summer break, and we got a call. They asked for me, and this was Floyd. This guy named Floyd on the phone. Hey, I work for Garth Brooks. And he saw your flyer and he wants to come meet you. And I'm thinking instantly, this is a prank call.
Right.
I'm like, I tell you what, Floyd, I'm really busy this summer. I'll check my schedule. Thanks so much. And we were done. So the next week, Floyd calls me back and he's like, hey, you checked your schedule? And I was like, is this for real? Is this really happening? So sure enough, he came the next day and he picked me up in his half-ton Ford, and we drove to where I knew Garth.
Wow.
It's like, okay, so I don't think he's taking me out into the middle of nowhere. But so we pulled up at his place and through his gates there, if you will, and drove back into the side of this hill. And there's this, at the time, this little small ranch house that they were living in while they were building this other great big Holiday Inn-sized. I'll say the slab that was there looked like a Holiday Inn-sized slab, but regardless, knocked on the door and out walks Garth Brooks. He introduces himself, and I'm like, you don't need an introduction.
Right.
It was just surreal, and he was most definitely an encouragement to me to move to town. He said, man, you're in Oklahoma and you are excelling at rodeo because of where you are. Mm-hmm. And if you want to take music seriously, he said, which you are. I've heard your album. It was junk. Everybody has a first really, really rough album. You got to learn at some point. And that's the one he heard right off the bat. He's like, I know that you are taking this seriously, so when you get your degree, go get your bachelor's degree, and if you want to take music seriously, I'll help you move to Nashville. If you need a place to stay, you can stay at my house. If you need whatever.
Wow.
And he was like that kind of all the way through college, and it was really strange to get. It was surreal to get phone calls from Garth Brooks. Hey, what are you doing for lunch or whatever, But after I moved to town, he was definitely an encouragement to me, and I actually got to sing on a Chris Ledoux tribute song they put out several years back. Just, yeah,
Very
what
cool.
what an incredibly cool, wild and crazy guy.
Yes, yes.
But yeah.
That is very cool. And then came the flood.
Yeah, man. So I moved out here, and so my wife and I our first date was in high school.
Mhm.
So kind of high school sweethearts, if you will, in Oologah, Oklahoma. And after I moved to Nashville for, I don't know, a year or so, it was like, all right, I can plant here. I like Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to her dad. I was like, hey, I'd like to marry your daughter, but I'm going to move her to Nashville, Tennessee. What do you think of that? And he's cool with it. He's great. I mean, I love my father-in-law. But so we moved out here and bought our first little starter home and little 2-bedroom house, you know, and in a little neighborhood. And it's great. We're living the dream. You know, we're doing music and we're in Nashville. And
Right.
we're living life. And then May 2010 happened, and it was, again, one of the most wild experiences I could ever have, and wouldn't wish it on anybody. But it was truly like the worst experience, and maybe like potentially the best experience. We had water up to our light switches roughly
Wow.
in the house.
Mhm.
Us and 10,000 other homes in this city, and we were uninsured, didn't have any flood insurance. We weren't in a floodplain, and I'm sure that's the story of everybody. who
A
was
lot of
flooded.
people, yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, so it was, all right, I'm a man, I'm going to figure this out. And it was like the options were go get a real job and pay to have your house rebuilt.
Right.
Option 2 was learn how to do it yourself, do drywall and flooring and cabinets and all that, which I've never done, but
Right.
I'll figure it out if need be.
Yeah.
Or option 3 was to call anybody and everybody I've ever worked for or rodeoed with or whatever, and kind of hat in hand say, hey, this is what's happened, and if your organization needs entertainment, I can sure use the work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the option I went with. And honestly, the flood wrecking our whole world was what kind of kicked off my music career.
Wow.
And I'd been here a few years and I was writing and hustling, but nothing was really happening until the most awful thing you would think.
Right.
An uninsured disaster.
Yeah.
And then by the grace of God, we pulled through this mess with no extra debt. Like music rebuilt the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
So we that year we played probably I'm going to say 50 shows or something like that, and it just kept growing from there to where we're playing 80 to 90 shows a year now as an independent artist, and I'm truly thankful and proud of that. We rebuilt the house, and since then we've started a little family.
Very cool.
And so we have a little boy who is going to be 2 next month. His name is Jet, and he's the coolest little kid I've ever met. But he's wild and crazy at 2 years old.
Oh, yes.
And Jet is about to have a little brother just anytime.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Tanya is my bride, and she's very pregnant right now. So, and really her doctor, she's 37 weeks along right now, so her doctor's like, okay, it's going to happen sometime in the next week.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready. Got the bags packed to go to the hospital.
Nice.
Here we go.
Very cool.
Yeah. So exciting times for
Wow.
the Bogart household, right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
So has Jet inspired any of your music lately?
Yeah, honestly, it was wild. So we put out a new record called Leather
Mhm.
in September.
By the way, love that song.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
much. You have a very authentic country sound, and I love that about you.
I really appreciate the adjective that you just used, authentic. That's what I want. I want my music to speak that.
Yeah.
I want to be believable, and so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That song is a special. Leather is the title track, and that tune is a special song to me. It's my folks had just celebrated their 37th anniversary, and me and a couple of my really good buddies here in town sat down and wrote that tune. And so anyway, but you asked about Jet,
yeah.
and yes, he has inspired lots of songs. But actually, one in particular on that album is a lullaby that I wrote for Jet. We were on our way. This is a crazy story, Teresa.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So we were, we'd finished the record. This was a year ago about this time. And we finished it up. It was being mastered. And on our way home from a run of shows up in the northwest, well, kind of your country, Wyoming, western South Dakota, it was my shift to drive, and we're on Interstate 90, headed back to Nashville, and everybody's asleep in the back. It's middle of the night, and I'm thinking about Jet. He's a little guy, and every night he gets a lullaby. Tanya sings him the Doris Day song, "I Love You, a Bushel and a Peck." A bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. Anyway, not a lullaby, but very cute little song. And then when I put him to bed, I would sing him this Eddie Arnold rodeo cowboy song where everyone dies in the end of the song. Ridiculous, isn't that?
Nice.
Not a lullaby.
No.
So literally, horse and rider. It's called Old Red. Look it up.
Okay, we'll do that.
Horse and rider, both they died and they're buried side by side in the Wild West.
Oh dear.
And I thought to myself, what am I doing? I'm a songwriter.
Right.
Let's write this kid his own lullaby. He gets a lullaby every night.
Yeah.
So at that point, I started a song called Buckaroo Lullaby. And I started it on Interstate 90 and finished it with a good friend of mine, Bill White. And we sing this song to Jet regularly. But it's song number 10 on the record, and it's one that I'm super proud of. It's very vulnerable, if you will, because it's truly what I sing my son, to sleep. So anyway.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I will have to listen. I didn't listen to that one,
Okay.
but I listened to a lot of the record, and I love your record. So it sounds great. It does. So back to the record.
Yeah.
Where can your fans find it? Where are they gonna find you playing? How do we find info on Paul?
Yeah,
Bogart?
so it's just myname.com, paulbogart.com, and that's Bogart, like Humphrey.
Got it.
And that's got the tour schedule, and on Spotify and Apple Music, wherever you stream your music, you can find my new record, Leather. We're actually playing tonight here in town.
Where at?
At Puckett's in Franklin.
Very cool.
So if you want to come down to Franklin tonight,
All right.
I'll sing this. I'll play Buckaroo Lullaby for you.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
I would love it. All right. Well, we'll get that on social media tonight too.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.